Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Horton number C4248-48A parallel arm. This is a 48 tooth arm. They make these spline adapters in 48 and 14 tooth variants. These adapter inserts are actually available separately as well. I have seen instances where those have cracked, so that can be replaced. So this is an in-swing arm is what it is. This is one of 3 different arm styles that would be used on an automatic door by Horton. This is only part of the in-swing arm because it's the arm, but we're missing the track that would be attached to the face of the door. So you have outswing, and then you have in-swing, and then you have concealed arm, which would be like a center-hung pivot. The interesting thing about automatic operators compared to mechanical hardware that I'm more familiar with, when it comes to surface closers, we would use terms like parallel arm and regular arm and top jam mount, and those same definitions and rules don't apply to automatic door operator arms. So a parallel arm, this is called a parallel arm. If you are from the mechanical door world, you know that that's a door that will swing out and your closer is mounted on the push side of that opening. Well, in the world of automatic doors, that operator is mounted on the header, but this parallel arm is used for an in-swing door. So that doesn't apply. It's quite frankly the opposite. Although it's an elegant solution because your arm doesn't project off the face of the door as much. When it comes to an outswing arm, they use they call it, it's just called an outswing arm, but it would look like our regular arm, but it's also identical to a top jam mount, which is what we would call it. So it's not a regular arm used in a top jam mount. The concealed arm is literally when it's center hung, and it's an arm that would not be unlike what you would see at all in an aluminum storefront where you have a mechanical closer that's concealed overhead center hung, no offset track, no independent or butt hung, just center hung, pivot assembly at the bottom, and then of course the closer and the header. So those are the 3 different types of applications, and there's a link below this video showing those, and we're going to show that to you in a moment. Just to throw around a couple of basic dimensional properties. Overall width of the arm, overall width out to out's about 11.5. The overall depth of the arm is going to be about 6 3/8. This is aluminum. This is clearly reversible. These 2 screws, you might have to flip that arm over, out, and around. This is going to be, I would say that this would be for a right-hand door, is what this application would come out shipped as. This is available in aluminum and, of course, in dark bronze. There's a large fender washer here with a single screw that will go through your installation and thread that to the hole that's drilled and tapped in the bottom of the spindle. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation. So this is the item that we are here looking at. Shows the arm. Okay, it's used for Horton parallel arm installations, which is an in-swing. Clear, dark bronze finish is also available. 14 tooth and 14 tooth are available. Now that extended description information regarding the arm types, that document is also linked to down below. There are 3 pages because there are 3 different arms. This is our outswing arm that would look like to us a normal regular arm, but it's a top jam mount, and you'll need to be mindful of what your reveal is. The dimension from the face of the frame to the face of the door. And I say that you'll have to be mindful of that because when you're installing automatic doors, you can easily get into very, very deep reveals. I had a client very recently install a product that we supplied to the client. My client required automatic door operators. We supplied him the material and then also gave him a referral of an installer. But the concept of the reveal needs to be mindful because this particular application, the client, doesn't know reveal from anything else. He just needs an automatic operator. Well, the referral, the technician that we suggested install the material, obviously worked with us to determine what that reveal was in the placement of the arm, but he had to create a custom plate and mount it to the header, and that reveal was maybe 7-inch. I forget what the reveal was, but it was a large dimension because the operator was sitting up over here, mounted to the masonry wall, the body hanging down to get the arm. So this is exactly where that was, or where that reveal is going to be very important to be mindful of. And then, pull up a chart that is not unlike this chart that basically tells you where to install the arm, dimension A and dimension B, where the arm should be placed when the door is in the closed position. And once you determine what your dimension A is going to be, you'll know your dimension B by using the chart. And in terms of the, the degree of open, your operator is going to handle more of that control than your arm. But you do need to know, the placement of the arm when you have an outswing. So, great example of, why thinking about what arm you require is pretty crucial, in fact. So that's an outswing. Our inswing arm they call parallel arm, or they call parallel inswing arm. That's what it looks like in cross-section. As I had said earlier, we're missing the track. You can buy the arm with the track should you need it. You can buy the track alone. Or it can be bought, again, then in these primary pieces. The last arm that's here is page 3, and that's the concealed arm. You do bump into these every once in a while, no doubt. In my experience, more often obviously in manual applications, but lots of applications have center hung sort of units. Okay. Now back to the item that we're working on, which is here. The link here to the manufacturer's page is where you can pull up not only all of the Horton products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to several encyclopedic type documents. Any wiring diagrams or technical manuals or drawings, this would be the page where we would keep that and the area that you would refer to for any sort of additional backup information that you might require. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, very typical arm. Arms are sold relatively often, and why is that? Well, the amount of torque that's applied to an arm, there's a tremendous amount of cycles that will be put typically on an automatic door operator. There was an older statistic that said there were 50 billion cycles of automatic doors on the planet on an annual basis. So lots of pieces of steel getting stressed back and forth, so it's not uncommon to need to purchase a replacement arm. The name Horton is synonymous with high-quality door operators. Many people, there are many manufacturers of this material. Horton is a company to work with because they have, in my opinion, very simple and straightforward published data where you can kind of get along with what they're talking about, understand it immediately, and that would be a reason to be partial to Horton. Any questions on the C4248 48 tooth parallel arm for an in-swing application or any other Horton product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.